Guys, it's February 16th, 2023. February is Black History Month. Premier Pro Wrestling and myself, Randy Ritchie, are doing one of these a day, black wrestlers you should know. And today's black wrestler you should know, you probably know, I don't know, you youngins, you don't know. Butch Reed, Hacksaw Butch Reed, the natural Butch Reed, one half of the most devastating tag teams in the history of pro wrestling, Doom, Butch, Mother effin' Reed. Now, I guess we'll start with my personal experiences with Butch Reed. That cat was enormous. When I used to do most of my extra work for World Wrestling Entertainment breaking in, it was the land of the giants, and giant is an understatement for the size of Butch Reed. Amazing. I would say hello. I definitely wasn't going to go up and hug him and crawl up his ass and swing from his nuts. He didn't really give off that aura. I can remember the second live professional wrestling show I attended was what was then called the Rosemont Horizon, and it was some sort of hybrid with Eddie Sharkey and Vern Gagne, and I believe it had to be Dick the Bruiser, called Pro Wrestling USA. And I guess this would have been about 1983, possibly 1984, maybe 85, I don't remember. I'm not good with dates. But one of the undercard matches was Butch Reed facing Dick the Bruiser inside the ring. And this was probably the year Bruiser died. He still looked like Bruiser, but he was beyond his years. And it was not very believable that Bruiser was going to go in there and, run over Butch Reed. Butch Reed was just such a presence, And we were sitting in the cheap seats at the Horizon, so I'm sure you know what I'm talking about. It was daytime. So, we didn't have lights or any of that crap. It was a Sunday afternoon, I believe. And, Butch Reed did business with Bruiser. It was amazing. They did a count-out finish, which to Butch's credit, I always thought that was pretty cool. Now, I don't know how Butch was on that card or why Butch was on that card. It didn't make any sense. He was a territory guy who shortly after went to World Wrestling Entertainment and did the natural gimmick, The personal ties or the personal similarities that myself and Butch Reed had, and I didn't know this, his biggest proprietor, the man in his corner in the territories, was the Junkyard Dog. Junkyard Dog was the first man to take me under his wing as a youngster down in the United States Wrestling Association, the USWA, Memphis, Tennessee. And I know Dog. Dog is not an easy win. Dog was very guarded. Dog was very smart, but Dog was also very humble. So after the first couple of days in the territory, Dog approached me and said, "Look, I like the way you handle yourself. I know you could probably use it. I know what it's like to break in this business and be broke. Kid, you don't bring any drama. How would you like to do the driving? And I'll cover the gas and hotel." I thought that was awesome. And we'll do Dog. We'll probably do Dog the last day of this month. We'll wrap up Black Wrestlers You Should Know with the Junkyard Dog. But I'll tell you, it wasn't just because Butch Reed was black. He had to have something about him that would make the Junkyard Dog let down his guard and advocate for this guy. And I'm glad that he did. One of the hottest angles ever in the history of pro wrestling was Junkyard Dog versus Butch Reed in the Mid-South. It had never been done before up to that point. It was the first time a black baby face faced a black heel. And from what I understand, the money they drew was just unbelievable. Maybe I'll go on YouTube later today and see if I can find some of those matches, because one can only imagine how outstanding those matches were, These idiots today, but Junkyard Dog didn't do much, man. Yeah, he told his story, you fools, and he made more money than you guys will ever dream of. you know. But anyway, there's a whole bunch of stuff, you know, in regards to Butch Reed out there, the natural. And, you know, all these idiots like Hannibal, they want to get to the bottom of the fight between John Nord and Butch Reed, which has been just so blown out of proportion, you know. When you hear John Nord's version of it, man, it's not as bad as they blew it up to be. And it's funny how, you know, Butch Reed can be in one of the hottest angles in the history of pro wrestling with the Junkyard Dog, but what these idiots today, like Hannibal, want to know about is the fight between the two guys real? You know, just ridiculous. But anyway, I did watch one thing about Butch Reed, and it was a weird thing. And this is how the idiots operate, you know. In Hannibal's stupid YouTube channel, he says, that time that Buddy Landell called Butch Reed the N-word, to get you to click on it. And Hannibal, man, you are just the king of fake news, you know. I always thought Buddy Landell was overrated, so I'll say it, you know. But I didn't see Buddy Landell at his peak live in the Memphis territory, so I can't say for real. But I do know this, that Buddy Landell was raised in the South in a home where his family were KKK members. Butch Reed and himself broke a lot of barriers there because Butch calls him a brother. And he holds him in the same classification as he did the Junkyard Dog. So that tells me something. It also tells me something about Butch Reed, you know, who could have literally broke Buddy in half if he wanted to. Now, Buddy Landell, you know, is very well known and very well renowned, but it's also known that he's got the same affliction that I do, alcoholism and drug addiction. Knock on wood, thank God I'm sober 41 years. I've been blessed and I've been lucky. But one time when Buddy was drunk, he slipped out an N-bomb and Butch smacked him. But you know what? Butch forgave him. So again, guys, black wrestlers, you should know, they don't get any hotter, they don't get any more talented, and he should be very well renowned. I did go to the WWE.com's tribute to Butch Reed, or their page on Butch Reed, and they were very, very cool about it. But at the end of the day, what I want to say about Butch Reed, he could work with anybody. Think about it. I saw him work, you know, with the 62-year-old Dick Afflis, Dick the Bruiser. He's worked with everybody and anybody when he was doing the natural for WWE. He could work with the Junkyard Dog, and then, of course, when they were doomed, look at the guys they worked with. The Road Warriors, the Steiner Brothers, the Nasty Boys, you know. But anyway, hope you guys are enjoying these black wrestlers you should know. Please note again, there are no YouTube ads or commercials on these, so please support PPW, Premier Pro Wrestling, Pro Wrestling Tees, Premier Pro Wrestling on Patreon. Please like and subscribe while you're here.